This boundary never demarcated, but we come and stand on this ground, oh God, and we stand as a people.
These religious leaders explained that Kapchorwa Bulambuli boundary has been mobile and unattended to by the authorities from the Ministry of Lands, hence causing a row between the two districts. They expressed dismay over an unclear boundary between Kapchorwa and Bulambuli districts that has been shifted to some parts of Kapchorwa by their neighbors of Bulambuli.
We are not coming with stones and pangas and knives and maybe bows and arrows. We don't have those, and we are not coming that way. We are coming to speak to our Creator, because our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the principalities, which have stood very firm against having the boundary demarcated between Bugisu and Sebei.
So what we are requesting Uganda government, as it is now, please can you help us, give us our border. That's why we came for this prayer here. Instead of fighting, we have come for the prayer here that we need our border. And our border, we have some letters which were written even by some leaders during colonials. We have, of which we have been asking the audience from His Excellency to allow us go and sit on the round table with all the pastors in Sebei here, and we see where we can decide, even if the place was encroached much. But we could even sit on the round table as the population of Bugisu is too much. We are few, but we shall sit on the round table and discuss and show. We have all the letters from the beginning, where the county was beginning from, up to where it ends.
The religious leaders and the elders held prayers on the contested area of Sanzarwa Parish, Kawo sub-county in Kapchorwa district. The men of God referred to Israelites who, in God's guidance and wisdom, were led to their promised land, and asked God to befall unto leaders in government to address the boundary conflict between Bulambuli and Kapchorwa district.
We are not talking much about our land, but we are talking about the boundaries. The Bible tells us that if you remove a landmark, you are a curse. If our landmark was along this river called Yembek, then it should be noted that
to the chagrin of Sebei people, we have multitude of members of parliament. They go masquerading as our leaders, but we never see one of them talking about the most essential commodity, and that is land. Yet for our people to be defined, there are only two things for you to be called a people. It is your language and your land.
Chemaka Mwanga Godfrey, the head catechist CP Parish, stressed that unclear boundary has hindered development in Kapchorwa district, citing the stalled programs to construct a health center. He said district leadership discovered that coordinates of the land where they intended to build the hospital were reading Bulambuli.
To know the actual boundary of Sebei and Bugisu, because this thing has really hindered development. Recently we had the construction of the health center, which has ceased, and other developments have not gone on. And of course this one is not so helpful to us and so healthy to us, so we are requesting the government of Uganda to come into our rescue.
During the prayers, Sheikh Ibrahim Abdraman Chemaswet, the Bukwa County Sheikh who represented the Muslim faith, prayed to God to guide President Museveni to amicably solve the boundary issue once and for all, so as to prevent conflicts that may lead to bloodshed.
As a community, we are not certain about our land demarcation on earth. Have pushed it through our leaders to no success. We are standing here this morning, we are standing here this afternoon to present to you our cry. Allah Almighty God, give our president the courage to conclude this sensitive matter, which may lead us into conflict with our neighbors.
In 2014, Ministry of Lands officials visited the area and demarcated the boundary, but the elders claimed the map followed during demarcation was doctored.